In this video, we're going to walk through how to connect Spotify to the app and then go through and import a playlist from Spotify. So the first thing you need to do is come into settings and paste in your client ID and your Spotify client secret into the Spotify section. That's what you created in the last lesson. You've got your client ID and your client secret. Once that's connected, you would click this button here. It will say connect to Spotify. Because I'm already connected, it's saying reconnect, so I can do that. So I'll click reconnect to Spotify, and it will go through. It will open the browser and it will say, you're going to allow, you say I agree, and then it's saying it's all good, you can close the window and continue. So we'll come back to the app. Spotify connected successfully. Now, the tokens auto refresh, but they only last for 6 months. So what will happen is that when your token expires, automatically prompt you to reconnect, and that will create the new token. So you've got nothing to worry about there. It's all working as per the latest requirements of the Spotify API. Okay, so it's following all those rules. So once you put your client ID in, your client secret, you've connected to Spotify, you click save, and now we can import a Spotify playlist. So we can click on the Spotify button here, and it brings up all the playlists in our Spotify list. Important thing to note, and this is probably once again a new thing with the latest changes to the API. You can only import the lists, the playlists that you own. So if I've just sort of linked a playlist, somebody else's playlist, like you see this one here, Jesse Cooper, right? That's not mine. My account is Tim Cooper. Okay, so if I try to import something that doesn't belong to me, it will come up with an error. It's a very strange, funky looking error, but basically at the end of the day, Spotify said forbidden. All Spotify is saying here is that you can't import anything other than the lists that you've created yourself. Okay, that's all that means. So I'm going to come down to this one, Motown Soul. This is my playlist. I'll click on that one and we'll see what happens. And it's saying that it imported 58 songs from Spotify. Beautiful. Nice and quick. And now you see here in the list, we've got Motown Soul, 56 songs. And you also see a little green dot next to it. That indicates that it's a Spotify linked playlist. We come in to edit it, and those are all the songs from Spotify. Now, and you'll also see here, source is Spotify. What we need to do here, though, is just go through the titles, because like sometimes Spotify adds extra stuff in that we don't want, and it just makes our cards look cluttered. So you just come through and just make sure it doesn't have any extra stuff at the end of the song. Right, I won't go through all of them now, but you get the idea that we just want to make sure it doesn't have anything added, just to make it look right. See that one there? All right, that's a whole bunch of stuff that we just really don't want on our card. Okay, so that's the way that works. The other thing is too that if you're using or planning to use Phenom Bingo Lite, which is a fully functional music bingo front end that hooks into your Spotify app and works as the playback for Spotify, but adds a whole bunch of other music bingo features. Then you can also put the start time in minute and sec. So where you want this particular track to start, you can set those start times in here. Okay. So once you've done all that, once again, it's important. All this is still in memory. Nothing's been saved until you click the Save Changes. And it's as easy as that. That's all you need to do. Just browse your Spotify playlist, click on the playlist you want, and it will automatically bring those tracks in. It will also bring in the Spotify album art and all that other information that is required if you want to use the Phenom Bingo Lite. You don't have to. You can just simply import your Spotify playlists, generate cards, and use those cards on the night. There's no problems there. Okay, so, but the important thing, once again, to remember is that when it comes to importing your Spotify playlists, you can only import the playlists that you have created yourself. They must be owned by you, not just somebody else's playlist. On to the next lesson.